Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope you're doing well. My name is Sean Chavis. I hope you stay. If not, that is okay. Today, we're going to be talking about the books that I read last month. Well, actually finished like earlier this month, but you know what I mean. The books of the month. These two books took me a while, but it was worth the read and it was worth the time that it took for me to finish them because they were both very good books. Thoroughly enjoyed them. Now, since I'm out of town right now, I do not have the physical copies of the books, but the books I'm going to be talking about is Assata by Assata Shakur and Rage of the Dragons by Evan Winter. We're going to get started with Assata. Assata was a revolutionary for the Black Liberation Movement during the 1970s. She was badly injured in a shootout in New Jersey. She was accused of killing an officer throughout that shootout, even though she sustained bullet wounds that incapacitated her. First, she was sent to the hospital before she was put on trial and sent to different prisons throughout that trial period. She witnesses blatant racism, both systematically and within the system of law. And throughout this unfair process, she still holds onto her pride, her sense of overall respect, staying true to her values, staying strong throughout the whole struggle. As we read about this unfolding, we go back and forth between her past and what's going on at this time period. And we see how she grew up during segregation, during the civil rights movement, just seeing the world around her in that time period. With her upbringing, there are things I could relate to. Although, of course, I live in a generation where representation is much more normalized. Growing up as a kid, there were things about blackness that I wasn't too proud of. Always wanted my hair to grow downwards, always dreaded my skin getting darker over the summer. And the fact that I felt that way in a generation that is much more self-aware, that does value diversity more, I can only imagine how bad it was at that time. This revolution will not be televised. That main quote is what popped up in my head throughout reading it. Because revolution for her and for the people around her started in the mind. Not just accepting the way that things are, but having hope for change, not believing in everything that you're told, being willing to ask questions, and being self-aware of the things that oppressors can do to sort of slip in the cracks to divide and conquer. Everything from the way that she wrote, her poems, the tone, everything that she represents, I greatly respect. And she also mentions so many other black activists and artists that I want to research soon. Overall, it was a great read. As an African American, it just resonated with me in multiple ways. And it was nice being able to educate myself more on the Black Liberation Movement and the Black Panthers because I wasn't educated that much on it growing up. It just opens my eyes more than they already were open. A great informative read, 4.5 stars. Next up, we got Rage of the Dragons. On a random day, I was searching up black stories, and one that stood out to me was Rage of the Dragons. So I looked it up on Spotify. It was free on Spotify, and I gave it a listen, and that was such a good decision. From the prologue, I was hooked from the prologue. The prologue was heat. It set up the scene, it set up everything so well, giving us a peek into this intense and merciless world. The actual story outside of the prologue is a story of revenge. The one seeking revenge is the lesser Tal Solarin. In this world of nobles and lessers, lessers are inferior to the nobles, and a group of nobles killed Tal's father. He joins the military and rises up the ranks with the intent of being able to kill the nobles legally through a blood duel. Now in real life, I have no enemies mindset. I don't believe revenge is the way to go. But in fiction, I eat that up. Blame Aaron Yeager. Once again, the story is gritty and it's merciless and intense. I enjoyed going through Tal's process of being so weak to becoming one of the strongest fighters in his field. It's not as though he became magically overpowered through his anger. He trained day and night. He put himself in terrifying situations to get better. Despite the odds stacked against him, he put in the hours and he put in the effort to get that strength, and it paid off. All without having any particular talent, not being a prodigy at anything, just crafting himself through the work. That's a trait about him that I liked a lot. Also enjoyed the romance aspect of the story. It didn't particularly throw me off the action. If anything, it played a valuable part, played a very essential part for the rest of the story. And speaking of action, this book is so action-packed. It's easily one of the most action-packed books that I've read. The way Tal fights, it's just so fun to listen to over audiobook because I'm like, bro, is this guy Kratos? I intend to listen to book 2 soon enough, probably after Big Mall by Kate Black, because the ending of book 1 just left me wanting more. Overall, fantastic book. 5 stars. Yeah, 5 stars. I gotta give it 5 stars. Overall, it was a good month for books. It's been a good month and a half for books. What I'm currently reading, Stoner by John Williams. So far, it's good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I'm already enjoying it. So I look forward to reading this more. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this little quick video. Hope you have a great evening, day, night, whatever, and take care. Peace.